What's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things happened on the show tonight, as tonight Eddie Edwards is going to go one-on-one with Eli Drake for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship after he won against Bobby Lashley last week. As Eddie Edwards, he came out. Excuse me. He pretty much talked about, the Wolves Nation and how he had a lot of support from his family and friends, but he pretty much talked about motivation and everything and how, he will stand here with the World Heavyweight title on his shoulders. And Eddie said, he had that never say die attitude, and he beat the most dominant champion in the history of his company, Bobby Lashley. But Eddie Edwards is interrupted by Eli Drake then, as he told the crowd to shut up, yeah, dummy! And he gave Eddie Edwards pretty much, licking up his wounds and stuff. And, he says, you got hit by a truck last week, but tonight you're going to get run over by a train. And Eli Drake said that, he bets Bobby Lashley, his hag backstage, because, when I win the World Heavyweight Championship, he will be going against me, Eli Drake, for the World Heavyweight title. Because he is bound for gold, and he's coming to get the title. As EC3 then came out, EC3 pretty much talked about, he commended Drake and everything, for finally cashing his bound for gold thing tonight. But he says whether Eddie retains, he's the new #1 contender, and he said he would choke anybody in the back on this company or the planet, to get what he wants, and he wants the world title. Because he told Eli Drake, you're not ready for the world title. And he's betting on Eddie Edwards tonight. As Eli Drake said, EC3's problem was not betting on Drake pretty much, but EC3 pretty much said he's betting the whole house on Eli Drake. The whole house is betting against him. Mike Bennett came out, and Maria, as Bennett pretty much came out and cut a promo talking about he should be the champion. I took Cody Rhodes out, as he puts it, and, he beat EC3's streak, and he should be getting it, because I had a little bit of roadblock detour, but now it's nighttime. It's Miracle Highway from here, and he wants the world title. As Mike Bennett, he pretty much told EC3 that, you need to get in the back of the line because you lost last time. As Eli Drake pretty much called Bennett a dummy, yeah! He says, it's my time, you all need to get out. As pretty much Mike Bennett then took a cheap shot at EC3, and Eli Drake and Eddie Edwards started brawling. Everybody pretty much started kind of going against each other from there until Moose came out. As this was a qualifying match, since it's, it's some type of tournament tonight. It was a good segment, but it was a tournament and everything, and we will see who will go qualify to be in the contender for the world title, as Moose went one-on-one with Mike Bennett. Pretty much had a better match. Some say they have hits and misses with their matches, but I usually like Moose versus Mike Bennett, as Bennett kind of, won by a count-out, really, to beat count out really? Yeah, he beat by count out to beat Moose. So he did what his way he did to make sure he got through by taking out Moose's knee. So it was a pretty good match, I'll say that. The Hardys. Oh, with Matt Hardy's mind, he's gone. Jeff was riding up to the bike. He wasn't broken this week, as he went to check up on his brother, but Rebby pretty much went on to tell Matt that he's talking different, looking different, and he's been dressing very, very differently. As Senior Benjamin was sitting down, Matt Hardy is not some type of carpenter, home improvement, singing Snoop Dogg lyrics in Spanish, saying with my mind on my money and my money on my mind, which was really funny. As Senior Benjamin probably was sipping on that gin and juice. Matt Hardy, he wore a knit sweater, and Senior Benjamin talked to me and said, I do not speak Spanish, he says. You got it wrong, and he didn't speak it. He said in English, he understands. He's now fixing houses now. As they want to know what was wrong with Matt and why he's doing this, and Jeff wondered what the hell is Matt doing. He says, don't you know who you are? With he had a West Coast accent going on. As Jeff pretty much asked, do you recognize, don't you know who you are and everything? But Matt says he does not know who he is. He does not know nothing of a final deletion. And he was wondering if Jeff was okay, and Jeff pretty much says, You are a wrestler. And Matt says, a wrestler on TV? They're violent. I'm not a violent person. You've been doing this for damn near 24, 25 years being a wrestler. But Matt says, I am an engineer, pretty much. I'm a blue-collar worker. This is hilarious. And they didn't know who he was, as Rebby pretty much told him, like, we need to jog his memory back. Once again, some say the suburban civil engineer, Matt Hardy, blue collar, his new gimmick. I don't know how many gimmicks this man has, but it's hilarious. The Tribunal came out to welcome back Coach Al Snow, which he returned to the Impact Zone after he was hurt by the Hardys, which people liked when he came out. And, you know, thanked the Tribunal for avenging against the horrible Hardys and stuff. But he said, we didn't do this for you, Al Snow. They said, well, he never even needed Al Snow. And they pretty much kicked Al Snow in the nuts and started beating him up. For some reason, they sent out Muhammad Bashir, which he got the crap kicked out of him regardless anyway. They could have sent out Grado, but he had the crap kicked out of him. EC3 went against Abyss, another qualifying match. Abyss tapped out since, you know, EC3 is a new finisher. So, pretty much rear naked choke and won. Back in Cameron, North Carolina, they tried to play some music to get Matt his head back, as Matt brought in with Lobster Bisque. You know, that always, you know, is great. But as Jeff, Senior Benjamin, and Rebby, they tried to sing, I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete. And they went to Matt's party, he would say, obsolete! But it did not happen to say obsolete. And they said, I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete. Didn't say obsolete. And he kept calling Rebby Debbie and stuff. Says, my name's Rebby, not Debbie. Brother Hero, not broken. Brother Nero's Brother Hero. He called him then. We had to get in Brother Hero's car, bike, to see where they were going after he broke his leg on that same bike. He said, yeah, that's not exciting. This is the same bike you broke your leg on. JB called out his friend for 11 years now, Gail Kim, as Gail Kim had a special announcement. You know, she's a Hall of Famer and had the TNA Knockouts Championship, and he wanted, you know, something on her mind and everything. She was friends with JB. She's been in this business for a long time and stuff, and, you know, kind of a better co-worker, friend, wife, and whatever, but she had an announcement to make, and she thanked the people, and she thinks Jade is the future of this division. She brought out Jade. She said Jade had the same drive she did in this company over 10 years ago. But Gail Kim was called the future of women's wrestling. But, you know, when she continued, the entire Decay came out. Next thing you know, Rosemary got in the ring as Gail Kim walked up to Rosemary, pretty much spit in Gail Kim's face. Hit Jade with some type of F5. JB tried to stop it, but Abyss got a hold of JB then, and Crazy Steve held on to Jade as pretty much Rosemary hit a finisher on Gail Kim then, a guillotine choke, and choked her out. Next thing you know, they put a trash can up to Jade, and Rosemary did a Van Terminator then. So some type of retirement thing. I really want to see Rosemary versus Gail Kim and see how that goes, because I think it could work. Some say the match has happened before, but I was in one of those one-night only pay-per-views, and they said it was really great. But I recommend checking it out. DJ Z went against Rockstar Spud and Trevor Lee, triple threat for a qualifying match. Trevor Lee won, which this guy is so great in the ring. He needs some type of push, because the X Division Hell, as they call it nowadays, or Spot Fest every week. Pretty much like the Cruiserweights in WWE. Both the X Division and Cruiserweights just do Spot Fest every week. It's like nothing's really happening. Just Spot Fest, Spot Fest, Spot Fest, Spot Fest, Spot Fest. So hopefully we can get some from there. Brandy Rose was talking to Allie in the back. As I was watching Braxton Sutter's matches and stuff, even though they are already married to begin with. Brandy pretty much said she needed help, but Allie said she couldn't do it. Grado and Robbie E wanted to talk to the boss, Billy Corgan, in the back, but Aiden O'Shea was blocking the door. And he said, your match is going to be tonight. You guys want to qualify? Who's your opponent? They had to go against Bobby Lashley, which Bobby Lashley pretty much killed them out there. And Lashley is Lashley, so he looked dominant as usual. Aaron Rex was on his way to the arena as Jesse God was waiting out there to fight him. There's Aaron Rex sat in his car wondering what was happening. He says, I won last week, so yeah. But they pretty much brawled with each other until Aaron Rex got his car and got a dodge. The Hardys came back as Matt and Jeff took the bite to the Lake of Reincarnation, as Matt did not want to get in the water. And Jeff tried to remind Skarsgård the dipillated boat, but he did not remember who the dipillated boat was. And Matt pretty much summoned the Scribe. You got the Scribe, which he did not know who it was. He thought he was still a wizard and everything. But as it went on, Matt did not want to get in the water. He said it was gross. Jeff tried to get him in there, but he says, you know what? I'm going to go to the Impact Zone and take care of the DCC myself. As Matt pretty much says the fighting was barbaric, he recommended that Jeff needed communication to solve his answers. Eddie Edwards then went against Eli Drake for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's a pretty good match. And everything. And Eli Drake was about to do a high-flying move, but pretty much Eddie Edwards dodged at the Boston Knee Party for the win. Next thing you know, the DCC teleported out of nowhere. They beat up Eddie Edwards, and the people who showed up, which I did not really know who the DCC was, but the people who are the DCC are Eddie Kingston, usually a big name on the indies, Bram, which we thought the Decay took him and put him in the trunk of a car. We never saw him again. After that, the whole thing with them and Rosemary. And the return of James Storm, which people rumored he was in NXT this whole time, but wasn't. I guess the rumors were wrong. People thought he did that promo with Corgan. They thought it was the last time people saw James Storm. But Storm showed back up as the fans actually kind of popped really for James Storm and chanted, welcome back, welcome back. So, I don't know. Hopefully James Storm can lead this group better than the whole Revolution, because that kind of went bad, even though they're dressed as businessmen with masks. People were actually surprised to see James Storm actually leading the charge with this whole crew. But that's my opinion on it, and people are happy to see him. Hopefully, just like I said, him leading this group is better than the one he tried before with the whole, Revolution, because that didn't turn out so good. So maybe the DCC can go out well. But that's my episode of Impact. Good title match, I'll say that way. Edwards and Eli Drake. And once again, the Hardys continue to be funny every week. We don't know what this. By the way, there will be a whole episode of the Hardys coming for TNA also soon in December. I don't know, forget which date, but in December it will be a whole episode dedicated to the Hardys. A whole episode broken or whatever, delete. I don't know how it will go, but expect a lot of insanity. I will say that. Since they are pretty much mostly the main thing to watch on TNA right now, and people have been going through the whole war with Billy Corgan and Dixie. I don't know who's really at power. I know Billy Corgan has that 36%. I know that them and Anthem came to some type of settlement. I don't know if he got all his money. Allegedly, he said, when I was reading his Twitter, he's like, the people, wrestlers, they deserve the best. I don't know if he still has some type of pull in this case. I hope he does. Better than Dixie Carter. But, hopefully he has something. I feel bad for Billy Corgan, because Billy Corgan really wanted to help TNA. He gave a damn about the wrestlers. I hope something still pulls out for him with this whole thing, but I think anybody will want Dixie Carter out of there. Some people, I don't think anybody, I know they tried to vilify Billy Corgan, make him look like the bad guy and everything, but honestly, a lot of wrestlers in the back have supported him. Mike Bennett spoke highly about him. Others like Lagana and others, they love Billy Corgan in the back because they believe he is the change. Like, Dixie's got to go. It's plain and simple. And anybody, there's no argument in that. They want Billy Corgan. They think he is the savior to this in a way. And he actually, he gives a damn. He wants things to be better. He wants it to be the shit. I do too. Come on, the Hardys have been awesome. But that's what I think about it and everything. But, I'll catch you for the next episode. I'm out here. See you guys later. Peace out.